Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're an infrastructure lead, an ops manager, a CTO, or a CIO, I don't need to tell you about the existential threat we're up against today. You're already living it. It's definitely not a lack of data. It's the sheer crushing scale of it. Modern enterprise infrastructure has grown so ridiculously complex that just maintaining a baseline understanding of what's happening in your own environment can feel like a monumental task. So today, we're going to look at how we can fundamentally overcome this infrastructure noise, and we're going to do it by zeroing in on a very specific, powerful approach: governed AI operations. So honestly, how much time is your team wasting just trying to piece together what went wrong? This is the massive headache literally every infrastructure executive is dealing with right now. Dashboard fatigue is real. Your highly paid, highly skilled engineers are spending hours just acting as manual routers, collecting a log over here, checking a metric over there, trying to manually correlate alerts across completely disconnected systems. And while they're stuck doing all that manual toil, your mean time to resolution, your MTTR, is sitting dangerously high. Okay, let's dive into this. We're looking at a sharp contrast between two very different realities. The old way is a tool-centric workflow. We all know this one. An issue pops up, a ticket gets created, and it bounces endlessly between fragmented domains silos. The storage team says, hey, it's not us. The network team says, not our problem. And you are just stuck in a loop. The new way, which is really the only sustainable way forward, is an outcome-centric workflow. Instead of assigning a ticket to a silo to check their specific tool, the actual goal is to restore application connectivity and automatically generate a complete evidence pack showing exactly what was verified. We're essentially shifting the entire unit of work from manual tasks to real operational outcomes. Section 1, the infrastructure noise problem. To actually get to that outcome-centric future, we first need to clearly define the macro problem that's tearing apart modern infrastructure teams today. The underlying issue is that complex infrastructure problems rarely stay neatly in one platform. A firewall configuration issue can look exactly like a total application outage to the end user. Or maybe a storage bottleneck manifests as a hypervisor performance issue. Because of massive tool sprawl, engineers have to manually jump between entirely different monitoring systems just to prove a negative. And usually they're doing this on a 2 a.m. bridge call. Add to that fragmented tribal knowledge, where the solution to a recurring problem lives exclusively in the brain of one senior engineer. It all creates a massive human bottleneck in evidence gathering. Your people are just overwhelmed by alert fatigue, which completely prevents them from doing the proactive work that actually moves the business forward. Section 2, Fabric-Wide Anomaly Scanning. To see how this actually gets solved at a granular level, let's look at Fabric-Wide Anomaly Scanning. By definition, this is the simultaneous analysis of telemetry across all your distributed switches. So why does this matter so much? Because we want to detect physical layer failures long before they bubble up and cause application degradation. This is all about preventing silent network degradation across massive enterprise fabrics. Usually, finding these anomalies requires an engineer to log into dozens of individual command lines, endlessly searching for a needle in a haystack. In the source material assessing the top use cases for AI operations, Fabric-Wide Anomaly Scanning was given a staggering 9.8 out of 10 value score. For the CIOs and CTOs tuning in, I really want to anchor on this for a second. This isn't just some fringe benefit or a nice-to-have feature. This specific capability is a massive, absolutely crucial driver for MTTR reduction. When you can simultaneously scan the entire fabric for anomalies, things like CRC errors, packet discards, or interface link flaps, the operational impact is profound. You're actively preventing silent network degradation. You actually stop those maddening cross-switch intermittent drops that typically take weeks to diagnose manually. Catching these specific physical layer anomalies instantly stops intermittent application drops higher up the stack. It's honestly a perfect example of moving from reactive noise to proactive clarity. Section 3, Enter Operator Plus. So how do we actually achieve this at scale? The core ethos of our solution, Operator Plus, is perfectly captured in this quote from the source material: AI-powered clarity, human-powered action. I want to emphasize this because I know exactly what executives fear when they hear AI and operations in the exact same sentence. You immediately envision unchecked automation running totally wild and breaking your compliant, highly regulated environments. Operator Plus is designed specifically to alleviate that fear. The AI provides the clarity and does all the heavy lifting of data correlation, but the action, the actual execution, remains firmly in human hands. The way it pulls this off is through the Operator Plus middleware engine, which acts as a highly secure bridge.
It connects intelligent AI agents to your trusted, live infrastructure data through verified integrations. The real key here is that it queries APIs and gathers telemetry without ever exposing sensitive credentials or giving the AI godlike privileges. It just reads the data, correlates the noise, and brings back the intelligence.
Think about the stark operational shift here. Instead of your engineers starting their mornings logging into 5 disconnected dashboards, experiencing total operational chaos as they try to correlate overnight events, Operator Plus provides one governed, actionable briefing. It synthesizes the health of your clusters, storage latency spikes, firewall rules, and backups into decision-ready clarity in a matter of seconds. It's a real game changer.
Section 4, Human-Powered Action and Governance. Now, we absolutely need to address the elephant in the room for any head of infrastructure or security leader: maintaining strict security and audit compliance. How do we ensure this doesn't become a rogue automation tool? We do it through an unbreakable governance loop. Walk through these steps with me. First, the AI recommends a next step based on its analysis. Second, and this is crucial, an attribute-based access control, or ABAC, policy check occurs. Third, a human must explicitly approve the action. And fourth, a 100% complete audit trail is logged. This proves that AI is strictly restricted to recommending. It completely eliminates black box mistakes because the AI simply can't bypass this governed workflow. And that control gets incredibly granular. Before any operational execution ever happens, the policy engine evaluates the specific user, the exact resource they are trying to touch, and the specific action they want to take. Only if all attributes align with corporate policy does it actually allow a decision to proceed. This keeps your security and compliance teams in absolute full control of the environment at all times. No surprises. So the crucial point is how this all comes together in the AI operations loop. Operator Plus systematically moves an issue through a very specific timeline. It observes live state, understands and correlates the symptoms, decides on a recommendation, acts only upon human approval, verifies that the service health actually improved, and finally documents the whole shebang for the audit trail. This is the closed-loop validation that takes an incident from detection to fully documented resolution seamlessly. Section 5, the future operating model. When you string all these capabilities together, you unlock a highly strategic future. As Operator Plus matures in your environment, it builds a rich operational model. It can actually reason over deep infrastructure dependencies to simulate changes before execution. It identifies the expected blast radius of a change, validates safety during business hours, and even generates proactive rollback plans, all before a human even reviews the change request. It literally takes the risk out of complex infrastructure modifications. And what does this mean for your people? Well, we celebrate this shift. Engineers are elevated. They're no longer manual dashboard watchers or ticket responders. They become outcome owners. They become the designers of governed workflows, the approvers of complex, high-stakes actions. And perhaps most importantly, they become contributors to a reusable, standard operational memory. Every single incident, every fix makes the platform smarter, converting transient tribal knowledge into a permanent, governed enterprise asset. I'll leave you with this provocative question to chew on. Are black box automation tools creating audit blind spots in your infrastructure right now? If you're relying on disconnected scripts and opaque AI tools, the answer is most likely yes. It is time to regain control, accelerate your MTTR, and do it securely with governed AI operations through Operator Plus. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to look at how these frameworks can transform your own infrastructure teams.